Hi everyone, welcome to our channel. This is the part 4 video of this series Angular 14 JWT Authentication. Now within my Nest.js application, I have created one endpoint like favorite movies endpoint and response looks like this. Okay, so to consume this favorite movies endpoint, we have to pass our JWT access token as a authorization header to the API value. Okay, so first let's create a small module like movies. Inside of it, we will create a component like favorite movie. So inside of that component, we are going to consume this endpoint. Okay. So let's create ng generate module and name of the module is movies. I need routing as well. So I can add flag like hyphen routing. Okay. Now I have movies module. Okay. So let's configure the lazy load routing in the app routing module. Okay, go to app routing module. Here, let's configure the lazy load module. Okay, so let me give a path like movies and load children like import movies movie module. Now let's create a component inside of the movies module. So the component is like fav movie component. Okay, favorite movie component. ng generate component inside of movies module, right? So specify the folder path movies and name of the component. Name of the component is Fave movies. I don't want any test files, so skip test. Okay, now the component is created. Now let's create our API response model. So this is the API response model. Let's create a model for it. Okay, so ng generate interface. Okay, movies. Inside of the movies folder, I want. So this is name of my interface response model name. Go to the interface. Let's add these properties. ID will be a number, name will be a string, genre will be string. Okay. Now let's create a service to invoke the API call. ng generate service inside of the movies folder. My service name will be movies. Okay. So file will get created like movies.service.ts file. Okay, and skip the test files. Okay, if I go to my movies module, I have favorite movies component, favorite movie.ts, which is a response type, and movie service file. Okay, now let's inject the HTTP client instance. Okay, let's add the logic for invoking the API call. Get fav movies, return this dot HTTP. So this is a get method, and I am going to receive array of fav movie type. Okay, and here we need to pass our API call. Okay, So service is ready. Now let's configure our favorite movie component in movies routing module. So go to movies routing module. Okay, here path will like Fave-Movies. Okay, and component will be the Fave component. Now we have to consume the our service into our favorite movie component, right? So go to favorite movie component.ts file and inject our movie service. Okay, and now let's add a variable like Fave-Movies. Okay, initially empty array, and in the lifecycle method, let's invoke the movie service. Okay, subscribe. So data. So this dot Fave-Movies equal to data. Okay, now I need to bind this Fave-Movies to my HTML. So go to movie component dot HTML file. Okay, so let me use some Bootstrap cards for binding. So go to Bootstrap website. So go to cards and scroll down. Let me copy this side by side. Okay, and paste it here. Since I am going to loop, let's remove the duplicate columns. Let's loop it. Ng for let fav of. So what is the variable? Fave-Movies. Okay, and I don't need any image tag. Okay, and here title will be our name of the Fave-Movies. Fave dot name. Okay, here in the paragraph, let's bind the journal. Okay, now let's add a favorite movie menu item. So go to app component.html. So go to Bootstrap navbar component. So from here, let's copy this div tag and add it here and close the div tag. Okay, and the next ul and li, close the ul tag. Okay, and next let's add this navbar expand lg class. Okay, now I want to display this movie item when the user is authenticated. So I can copy this if condition, add it here, and this will be movies. Okay, and I can add a router link like slash movies slash fav hyphen movies. Okay, let me check fav routing, movie routing. Fave-Movies. Okay. Now let's test. Once we log in, then we navigate to movies menu item. So here is our sample. Click on login. Enter our test credentials. We are successfully logged in and we can see the movies menu item. If I click on it, now I am on movies, but API call not happening. So here API call 401 unauthorized. That means user is not authorized. Okay. So that means for request we have to send the API call. If I click again, you can see here in the networks. We to this request header we have to add authorization header, and to that authorization we have to pass our JWT token as a value. Okay. One way we can do is manually adding authorization header at the every request, or else you can write the interceptors. Okay, but since we are using JWT Angular library, if with that help we can utilize the automatic adding of authorization header. Means we no need to write the code to add the authorization headers. Okay, so to do that, first go to auth service. I have to write a method. That method should return the access token as an output. Okay, so auth service. This is our auth service, right? So here let me write one method like get access token. Okay, so where local storage, always try to get from local storage or token data. Okay, local storage dot get item, and what is our key tokens, right? So use that one. Okay, if local storage data exists, then we have to implement some logic, or else we are going to return empty string, means no token is available. Okay, if local storage token exists, then where token, if we will parse it. Okay, json dot parse local storage, and we convert them as token model. Okay, now what I will do, let's check whether the existing token valid, means it is expired or not. So is token expired? Okay, to check that, we know we can use the JWT helper service. Okay, this dot JWT helper dot is token expired. To this token we have to pass our access token. So token dot access token. Okay, so if it is expired, this value will be true. Okay, so in that case, if it is expired, is token expired, then what I want to do means I want to remove the data from the behavior subject, that is user profile. Okay, this dot user profile dot next, I'm going to pass null value, means token expired. So I am emptying the data and return the empty string, means no token, active token available. Okay, if at all token is not expired, means token is active. In that case, where user info equal to this dot JWT helper dot decode token, just a decoding token. Okay, token dot access token, and that type will be user profile type. Okay, now this dot user profile observable will pass new user info, decoded user info, and finally return the token as a output. Okay, access token returning as an output. Okay, this is our private method. So this method I am going to use in JWT module that loads from the @auth0/Angular JWT library. Okay. So now what we will do, let's go to uh, JWT app module. Okay. Here let's import the JWT module. JWT module. Okay. So JWT module that loads from the auth0 Angular-JWT library. Okay. For root, here I am going to add some configurations like JWT provider options. Okay. So in that provide property, JWT options that loads from the library. Next, use factory. So I need to pass a factory method here. Okay. So to do that, here let me create a function. That function will be used as a factory method. Okay. Function JWT options factory. Okay. And to this method, we have to pass our auth service because we just created one method, right? That method we are used inside this. Okay. Auth service, auth service. Okay. Now here we need to return a object literal just like configuration. So first one will be token getter. Okay. So this property will take a arrow function. That arrow function must return the access token as output. So add arrow function, and we know our auth service. We have a method to return the token, that is get access token. We will return it from this arrow function. Okay. So to use it here, we have created this get access token method. Okay. So next thing, configurations, like we can add few more configuration. So if you want to check all these configurations, go to auth0 JWT Angular. Okay. Here there will be a nice documentation how to use a factory or without using factory method, everything. See, like these configurations you can check. Here it is directly using config. There is no factory, but we use factory method approach. So that factory method approach also down here it will explain how to use. So where is that factory method? See, we are using this factory method approach. Okay. So here allowed domains means to which domains we want to add this token. Okay. So what is our domain? API domain. Our API domain is nothing but localhost 3000. Okay, just copy this. No need to copy HTTP colon. If you copy, it won't recognize. So don't add HTTP, all those things. Only host name here we have to pass. Okay, in the quotations. And we can also specify like other configurations like disallowed routes. To which routes? No need to add the token like login. All those things we no need to add our access token, right, by default. So for them, I can exclude them. So what are the endpoints I don't want for my login endpoint as well as my refresh token endpoint also. So I'm just excluding. No need to add authorization header for these routes. Okay, like that, lot of other configurations you can check in the documentation and add here. Okay. Now let's use this JWT option factory here. Okay. And since this method has input parameter or auth service, right? that should be registered in the dependencies here. Deps means dependencies. Okay. So pass here our auth service. Okay. So why we did all these configurations means now for every request to this domain, excluding these URLs, automatically access token will be added as a authorization header. Let's test it. You can see how it is automatically adds. Let's now log in again. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now clear all network calls. Go to movies. See, now I am getting some data rendering movies, favorite movies. Okay. If I check network call, now it is 200. Previously 401 unauthorized. And if you see the request header, see authorization, barrier space, our access token automatically added. We did nothing. Okay. So with the help of this JWT module from the Auth0 Angular JWT automatically handles the adding of access token. Okay, so that is one of the benefit for using this library. So this library, what are benefit till now we have seen, like decoding and checking for access token expired or not, and automatic adding of authorization header value to the request. You can see automatically to the request in the request header, you can see authorization value added. Okay. Otherwise, if you don't do this, we have to manually add for every call, or we have to create a interceptor where which executed before going request going to the servers. There we have to write our own logic for adding the authorization header. Okay, so this is all about how to consume the secured endpoint. Okay, next we are going to check how to invoke the refresh token endpoint on JWT token expires. So we are going to implement a one interceptor for that. Okay, JWT module cannot handle it. Okay, directly. So we have to create an interceptor, and in that interceptor, if the token expires, we need to call the refresh token API. I hope this video has delivered some useful information to you all. If you like my video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Soon we are going to meet with new videos. Until then, signing off.